Florian Zeller directed my favorite movie of 2020 in The Father, so I was over the moon excited about this film. Is the Son as good as the Father, and is the Holy Spirit as good as the Son? We'll figure it out. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking The Son, the brand new Hugh Jackman film directed by Florian Zeller. Like I said, let's get into it. So, Peter has his busy life with new partner Beth and their baby thrown into disarray when his ex-wife Kate turns up with their teenage son, Nicholas. This is written by Christopher Hampton and Florian Zeller. It is a play, and you have that feel throughout the film, and it is rated PG-13 for mature thematic content and strong language, and that mature content involves depression and suicidal thoughts and things that will unnerve some audience members, and it's going to be too difficult to watch for individuals, and that's completely understandable. Just know that's the type of movie you're getting into before getting into it. I somewhat knew because I had heard a little bit about what was going on in this movie. It's the type of story that you watch and you can kind of see where certain moments are headed. A lot falls on the shoulders of this young actor in McGrath. He has to carry some really heavy scenes, whether it be between he and Hugh Jackman, who plays his father, he and his mother in Laura Dern. The performances from our, stud actors here are great, as expected. Vanessa Kirby is in there as Peter's new wife, and that creates for a very dysfunctional relationship between both sides of this family, and Nicholas has a lot on his mind and a lot that he continues to think about, and every time those thoughts come up, it sends him down a darker path. But it feels like no one in his life is really understanding what he's going through, and because of that, he's on his own island. He's by himself. He feels alone, and I think that is illustrated fairly well through the script. Now, the film, in my opinion, also struggles balancing where we are supposed to fall as an audience, because it tries to make you feel sympathy for the son, at least the son of Hugh Jackman, but Hugh Jackman also plays the son of Anthony Hopkins' character, and it tries to make us feel bad for him because that is a very strained relationship, and obviously that is carrying over into Jackman and his son in this film. But it feels like the script is trying to make us feel just as bad for Jackman's character as it is for McGrath's character, even though Jackman doesn't really know how to handle this situation. And while he's not fully at fault, he doesn't show as much sympathy as he should, or he doesn't take into consideration, at least fully, what Nicholas is going through, and he just seems like he's overlooking a lot of what's going on in his life. And anytime Nicholas tells him something, he's like, oh, well, see, things are looking better. Things are going to be okay. And I guess what this script was trying to do is trying to paint a picture of those that overlook the signs of something like this, but at the same time, it's really trying to make us feel bad for Hugh Jackman, because there are a lot of emotionally, and I've seen this criticism, I somewhat agree, manipulative moments to where we're having to feel for him, but over here, this young boy has absolutely no help with what he's going through, with these dark thoughts, and it's so heartbreaking to know that he is so alone throughout most of the film, but the script is trying to make us feel bad for these other characters just as much as this character, and I don't think that was the right approach. I actually think this script approaches it in a really backwards way, and I understand Zeller wasn't trying to do that. You can see, if you pull back the layers, what he's trying to do, but it comes across that way. And I'm not familiar with the play. I'm just talking about the film here. Jackman's good. The emotion that Jackman has to convey is great, and he does a wonderful job taking the script and doing exactly what he needed to do, as does Kirby, as does Dern. Hopkins doesn't have a lot to do, but he's great. He could do a script like this in his sleep. McGrath, because he has to handle so many of these emotional moments, there are times when he's trying to convey specific emotions. I wasn't quite feeling it on the level that I should have, and because these moments sometimes fall solely on his shoulders, that makes for less of an impactful scene. I just don't know if he was up to this task that he's given. He's really good at times, but at other times, I wasn't quite feeling what I was supposed to feel. It's a hard line to walk because you're trying to stay as emotionally distant as possible, but then again, you have to make us feel something as an audience. I'm just not sure if McGrath was able to accomplish that. Look, his dialogue isn't helping him along the way, but at the same time, I just didn't feel what I was supposed to feel. Now, the moments themselves, what happens throughout the movie, they will tug on your heartstrings and they will make you feel exactly what they're trying to convey. But it was less that specific performance. It was less the dialogue that we were getting. And then the way that it progresses, the way that it ends, it's emotional, but at the same time, you know exactly where it's... I don't want to say too much here, but this is the type of film that should make me feel sympathetic towards this one character, what he is having to deal with, and then inevitably what Jackman's character is having to deal with. But off the bat, they're trying to make you feel a certain way towards characters that just don't deserve that sympathy at the beginning. And then when they do deserve it, I just don't know if it allowed these moments to play out in the best way for the movie itself. I hope I'm making sense here. You know, depression is something that a lot of people deal with, and I do think there are great examples of films that handle that well, that showcase that, make you feel the proper emotion. And I was so disappointed in this movie because I thought it would make me feel that way. I thought it would pull on those heartstrings, and it does, but in a way that made me appreciate the filmmaking. And, you know, cinematography, rock solid. Again, performances, Jackman may end up getting an Oscar nomination. He is not bad. He does everything he needs to do. I just did not like the screenplay, and a story that you can't get attached to, a story that doesn't work, can often ruin a film where everything else works. And sadly, this is one of those examples. I loved the Father. I did not love the Son. But I found the Holy Spirit. I gotta stop. If you're here and you want to support this video, the best way to do that is by dropping a like down below. And let me know, do you think Hugh Jackman gets an Oscar nomination? The Son struggles with getting its point across because the film just isn't able to focus on what is necessary to capture the right emotions. Jackman is fantastic, but the script does him no favors. Unfortunately, and this breaks my heart because I was so excited for this film, I'm going a 44% with my score. This just did not work. Again, you will get emotional in moments, but the majority of the film just never finds the right focus. And I'm devastated. I'm so sad I didn't like this movie. I wanted to love it. So, yeah, that's it for me. I need to go recover. I'll see you soon.